I'm dreaming of a black Christmas, just like the ones we used to know. Oh well, welcome back to 42nd Street Pete's Grindhouse, really weird cinema. And why not celebrate the fucking holidays, as depressing as it may be? Back in 1974, I was looking through the newspaper and saw this ad for a movie called Black Christmas. And I believe the tagline was, if this doesn't make your skin crawl, it's on too tight. So anyway, it was playing really close by, like 10 minutes from my house at a theater in Livingston, New Jersey called The Colony, which I think was a privately owned thing. It was a smaller theater. And it usually didn't run stuff like this. Usually it was family-friendly stuff, Disney stuff, whatever. But occasionally they would flip something like this in. So, being that it was around Christmas and the weather was shit and I didn't feel like going to a drive-in and freezing my seeds off watching this and I didn't feel like going to New York, I just took the 10-minute ride up the street and went to see it at the Colony. And it opened up with this sort of point of view shot from someone standing outside a sorority house and then looking in the windows and then climbing up a trellis and then getting in the attic and sort of sequestering himself in the attic. And the sorority, which has Olivia Hussey and who the hell else was in there? See, this is what I mean about forgetting shit. John Saxon plays a police officer, like John plays police officer a lot. Oh, Margot Kidder is the drunken sorority girl. And they also have a drunken house mother who hides pints and half pints of liquor all through the house. And people are going away for the holidays, which it makes it sort of easier for this killer to operate, because one girl goes upstairs to basically pack, and she goes into her closet and is smothered with one of those dry cleaning bags, carried up to the attic and stuck in a rocking chair by the window. So that's the first victim. Then there's the creepy phone calls, which basically make the movie, about the skin crawling shit and everything like that, because the girls are sort of baiting this guy because he's getting lewd and shit like that. Then he basically tells them, I'm going to kill you. And they blow it off again. Well, the calls keep getting worse and worse and get more personal because the main male lead is Keir Dullea, who's Peter, this pianist who basically crashes and burns on a recital and then destroys his piano, showing his violent tendencies, of course. So he also gets a little bit more creeped out when he finds out that his girl Olivia is pregnant with his kid and she wants an abortion. And then the phone calls keep getting, you killed the baby, you killed the baby, creepier and creepier, which is leading everyone to point at Peter. So it goes where there's a confrontation and the detectives are sort of picking up on the fact that maybe Peter's a little bit more unstable than they think he is. So in the meantime, the house mother tells one of the girls, if you come back and I'm not here, I went to get my sister. So she's ready to leave and she hears the cat yowling, Clyde the cat, and she goes up to the attic to get the cat and is killed and hung up somewhere in there. So they don't miss her. So then Margot Kidder passes out and has some shit going on with asthma and is pretty much sleeping when the killer creeps into her room and stabs her to death with this piece of crystal. So again, you're not seeing the killer. The only thing you see of the killer is a dilated eyeball. So Peter comes over to confront the Olivia Hussey character, and she's already gone to the police, and they want to put a tap on the phone, and pretty much they get the tap going, and the guy goes, the calls are coming from inside the house. And John Saxon's character goes, well, no, it can't be. And he goes, no, the phone calls are coming from inside the house. So he directs the sergeant, and you'll recognize the sergeant because he was the coach in Porky's who couldn't stop laughing about Lassie. And he's telling Olivia Hussey to get out of the house. And she goes, no, I have to go upstairs. He goes, no, you have to get out of the house. Then he blurts out that the calls are coming from the house. Well, she goes upstairs to find her two girlfriends and finds them all bloodied and posed in a pose on the bed. Then Peter comes in. Then she gets a fireplace poker. And then when the cops get there, they find her with Peter's battered body. So just when you think everything's over and they put her to sleep and leave her alone, the phone starts ringing again. And then the credits roll. So very creepy indeed. And this film was directed by the late, great Bob Clark. Bob started out doing these things. He started with Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, Death Dream, and Black Christmas. Of course, he went on to do another Christmas film called The Christmas Story, which was set right here in Cleveland, Ohio. The Porky's Trilogy, which are some of my favorite, well, I got that fucking warped sense of humor anyway, so some of my favorite films. Turk 182, and a bunch of other stuff. Honestly, I can't say that I've ever seen a movie that Bob made that was bad. But unfortunately, he was killed in a car accident with his son years ago, and his filmmaking career sadly came to an end. He's one of the good guys. So, like I said, never seen a bad film by Bob Clark. So that's our show for today, and a little segue, if you will, to what's going on. I'm, of course, recording this in advance of Monday. I'm just hoping I can get boots to the bed. I'm just hoping my head's clear enough to drive. There was something I wanted to say about what was going on, about people who either try to contact me for an interview or never fall through, or do an interview and I never see or hear it. That's kind of weird. I don't understand what's going on, but someone wanted to interview me about my days as a drive-in theater manager back in the 70s, and I never heard anything else, no follow-up, no nothing, which is weird because I can tell a story about a projectionist who basically took off his pants when he went to the projection booth. And that kind of weirded me out because he kept telling me he's got a pinched nerve in his back. I got a whole ton of pinched nerves in my back, but I never felt the urge to walk around with no pants on. So, I don't know, that's another story. But anyway, like I said, I'm trying. I did this today. I got through it. So, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in. Above all, stay safe, and hopefully we'll catch you on the flip side.